everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Oh, it's great because you're here. So how could it be bad?
I'm back.
It could not be bad.
The cocktail of the week this week is called Daddy Issues.
Huh. Why is it called that?
Well,
What is the connection, perhaps, maybe?
look, I did not create this cocktail, but it is Malort, vodka, lemon juice, and Red Bull Reduction.
Oh, because it's Malort, today's the day you'll fight your dad.
Yeah.
It's all related, right? They must know
probably.
that.
I would think so.
They must know that.
Daddy Issues.
There's nothing I don't know. There's
We
nothing-
made this cocktail. I was like...
I was going to say there is something inherently about Malort that is daddy issues, which is it tastes bad, but it's good for you. You'll drink it and it will make you feel better.
We stopped to fill my car up tonight after dinner, and I was like, I got to go in and get a Red Bull, which I do not drink. And I was like, I can't tell you why. And then I brought it home, and I reduced it on the stove, and now the whole house smells kind of like cherry NyQuil, which is extremely gross. But I got like a Red Bull syrup out of it.
I just think it's funny that I know better than to ask any questions when you say, I'm not going to tell you why. We just need some Red Bull.
Yep.
You know what I asked? Which flavor?
You know.
How high?
You understand. So there you go. That's cocktail of the week. We tried it. It was not as bad as I thought it would be.
I agree. I think the Malort lemon combination is really good. The Red Bull Reduction, it gives me hives to say those words together because Red Bull is not a culinary art kind of
Shouldn't be
equivalent.
reduced.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if it does much, but the Red Bull and lemon is a good combination.
Oh, interesting.
I think that takes some of the nasty out of I'm sorry, Red Bull. I'm sorry, Malort and lemon.
Yeah.
I think the lemon takes some of the nasty out of Malort.
Yep.
Red Bull makes everything better. So everyone take it with a grain of salt because I like Red Bull. So more reduced, more potent Red Bull
Very
is fine.
potent.
It's fine with me.
Someone in the
Fine.
comments,
I'll add the water myself out of my body.
this is like a Blue Sky post, and someone in the comments was like, yes, let's take out like the only thing that makes Red Bull palatable, which is like the carbonation and the dilution.
I don't think that's true. I think the main thing that makes Red Bull palatable
Yeah.
is the taurine.
Gross.
I need taurine, Jen.
Extremely gross.
It's my daily dose units of taurine. It's got a bull. The bull is from Taurus, taurine.
Yeah, I get it.
They didn't know that before there was Red Bull that you needed a lot of taurine. I think this is the science that Red Bull has contributed to the world.
Okay.
And then they've contributed a bunch of extreme sports, which arguably is a contribution to culture
I agree.
equivalent to art galleries. The equivalent of entertainment I've gotten out of the Louvre in my lifetime is probably the same as I've seen crazy Red Bull crap. Just weird stuff, people doing extreme stuff with their bodies and with their constructions.
They got that hockey cross, which I think is so badass.
Hockey cross, but they also have like the soapbox derby kind of thing.
Yeah, the plane
that's kind of
thing.
crazy. And then they have the soapbox derby that they crash off a 35-foot platform into the ocean.
It is. They are supposed to fly, but nobody does.
It's the Flugtag. Flugtag is the best. Nobody ever flies. No, it's just falling with style. It's very cool though.
Yeah, that's right.
So Red Bull, man, you guys are doing okay. But the hockey cross is crazy. Imagine the Olympic sport where they have like ski cross, where they like race down a course with skis. They do it with skis, but you do it with ice skates
It's like BMX racing, but with ice skates on an ice track.
On an ice
Hockey
track.
gear, yeah.
It's
Badass.
It is kind of insane.
I would love to try it.
It makes me think that if I drink Red Bull, I could either do that or think of that.
I like
if
it.
I can think of that, I'm insane, like Red Bull wants you to be.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of the marketing. They've clearly bought me with their marketing. I don't even drink the stuff. I just think they're awesome. Plus, I think the entire economy of Austria, no offense to Austrians, now runs on Red Bull.
Yeah.
I think they're the number one moneymaker in Austria.
Hey, look at you with information. That
Tell
may or
me
may
I'm
not be
wrong. No, I'm sure it's completely inaccurate, but Red Bull is a big cultural thing in Austria.
true. How do you know this?
Made it up. But I asserted it confidently.
You sure did.
Yep. Anyway, they're a huge Austrian export that makes me like Austria.
They are Austrian. That's true.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a guy, kind of a crazy guy with a dream and a vision and a marginal drink. He did a great job. He started energy drinks. I mean, that's amazeballs. Yeah. So, good power to him. And I don't even drink the stuff anymore. I've graduated to Monster
Yeah.
because bigger cans. America, bigger cans. Sad.
All right. So we have nothing for administrative corner this week, but we do.
Nothing.
Sorry, I've been away. We do have dog updates.
We do.
Uh,
They have remained, even though you have not.
I am still bopping around the world, but the dogs remain here in the Keys with you. Remy and you and Nugget went up to the mainland this week to get Remy his oncology visit, his every 2 months oncology visit.
That's right. Ella, a.k.a. Nugget, went because she cannot be trusted around the house, and we want it not to burn down or
God, the stuff that she chews on.
develop actual structural damage from her chewing.
Mm-hmm.
So I took her with us. She was really good. I mean, Sofetta was in... Remy was in the way back. Ella was in the back seat, but I have now a divider. I've installed a divider screen between the front two seats, my seat especially, and the back seats.
She can't climb over.
So she can't just jump over the way she used to.
Yeah.
So every drive begins with me backing out and her scrabbling against the screen for about 30 seconds, trying to dig her way through.
Yep.
And then she decides she can't do that. And she stops, and then she kind of settles in. She has been looking out the window a lot, which calms her down.
That's good.
I open it, and then when we reach about 60 miles an hour, she gets tired of looking out the window, and I close the window, and she settles down and sleeps. She was really good for the 3 hours there and the 3 hours back. She was very mellow and not too freaky and didn't do too much of the scraping against the screen.
And Remy got a good report. His cancer's not doing anything. So he remains stable. Blood work's good. No real growth on his lymph nodes.
It's a weird scenario where a boring report is a good thing.
And Brody also went to the doctor this week. So he has had melanoma in his mouth maybe like a year and a half ago, and they had to remove a tooth.
He had it in his molar in the back.
And they took it grows on the gum, and so they took the tooth out, and then they took that part of the gum out, and it did not heal well, and then they had to go in and like try to repair it, and I kind of thought he was gonna die, and he did make it through. He had a terrible time with the anesthesia where he would just be like off for days, and has done well. Given the melanoma diagnosis, which is like 4 months, he has made it way longer than that. But I saw in his mouth last week another kind of big black growth behind one of his canines, and melanoma typically shows up like that. And so we brought him in, and I was like, I don't know if we're going to do like another surgery, because he like barely made it through the surgery last time. So they did a little biopsy this week where they just gave him like light sedation, and they're like, let's figure out what it is first. So he did okay. He was kind of messed up the day after, or like the end of the day that he had the biopsy, but rebounded pretty easily, and we're still waiting for the results, so we don't have any answers on that yet.
But he didn't have any major problems from the surgery or the anesthetic this time. So luckily, I think the vet's office obviously knows all our dogs. They know him, and they did try to put him on a low dose, low version, low plan of anesthesia.
Yep.
But I think they also did a good job stitching it. I think they did a good job generally of keeping him low trauma, because he was a little dopey the next day, but 2 days later he was up to his usual tricks, which aren't that tricky or extreme, but he's like, walking around the yard, rolling around, doing kicks, being himself. He even had his pizza slice the other day. So he's recovered very well.
Yep.
Good job, Brody.
So that's it for dog updates.
Mm-hmm.
Taste of the Keys. It's pretty mellow time down here in the Keys. Fred the tree got decorated for the holidays.
Yes, I was driving by the other day when I was taking up Remy for his checkup with Nugget. It was 10 in the morning, and there was like 20 people out on the 7 Mile Bridge decorating Fred the tree.
Now, for those who have not been
on the illegal part of Fred the tree.
Yeah, for those who've not been longtime followers, Fred the tree is an Australian pine tree that grows on the old 7 Mile Bridge. So there is a 7 Mile Bridge that connects the lower Keys to the middle Keys to Marathon. And there is an old bridge that like the railroad was on, and you actually used to drive on it. And now they have a new bridge. And so there's like a 2-mile section of the old bridge that you can like walk on that they just finished refurbishing. But the other 5 miles of the old bridge are like not accessible. They like literally blew out sections. You can't walk on them.
Yeah, they don't. It's too expensive to demolish completely the old bridge because it's cement and concrete, and it's such a pain to demolish it. But they did the next best thing, which was to just cut it off from the mainland as much as they could.
Yeah. So every year people decorate the tree, and they like boat over to that section of the bridge, and they illegally like climb up there with ropes and stuff. But they put like lights and decorations and a star, and they set up all kinds of stuff on it. And there's always a picture of them doing it, and they all have like big ass ornaments held in front of their faces, so they remain anonymous. And it's lovely.
Yes, when I was watching, someone was in Santa Claus pajamas, like a full, onesie, and a Santa Claus hat, and then there may have been other people in dress, but I was driving by at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So details, but they weren't that illegal. They weren't covering their faces for me.
No,
only for the press.
So there you go. That's Taste of the Keys. What's the German word of the week?
Schluck auf.
What does Schluck auf mean?
Guess.
I don't know what Schluck is. Auf is like on.
Schluck is to swallow. Schlucken, ich schlucke das, ich schlucke is swallow. Schluck auf means to, I guess, swallow upwards. It's a hiccup.
Wait, you did this last week.
Did I do it last week, or did I just talk to you about it?
Oh, no, you did it.
Get out.
I clearly didn't remember Schluck auf.
Do you remember the Austrian word for it?
No.
Is Schnackerl.
Okay.
For some reason. Austrians have a different thing for everything.
Tell me German word for this week.
Okay. Übernächtigt.
Ooh.
Overnighted.
God, I wouldn't have thought it was nächtig.
Nacht is
I got
night,
that.
And nächtigt, übernächtigt means overnighted, which means you're like, you look real tired, like you stayed up all night.
Oh.
Like you've gone all through the night. Übernächtigt. And it doesn't have to be after an all-nighter. It just means you look like you're not getting enough sleep.
Well,
Übernächtigt.
That's not a kind thing to say to anybody.
Germans would exactly say
it
something like that. It
absolutely is, yeah.
So it's two umlauts, Ü and übernächtigt.
Nächtig. Nice. Nice. Übernächtig.
Yep.
Okay, good one.
So there you go.
It's time for Ingo Corner, where you can say whatever you want and I won't tell you it's boring.
Oh, Christmas in the Keys. It's fun. There was a Christmas parade last night. our veterinary office participated.
Yep.
There's just the local businesses and associations will walk down, I mean, accompanied by motorized vehicles, but they basically walk down Duval Street and throw candy to people. So it's pretty cool.
The best kind of parade is where they throw candy to you.
It is. It is. So that's our little Christmas parade. New Year's will be next, where they lower the pirate wench and do other things. But Christmas is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Good.
Oh, I appreciate everyone. Thanks for the Christmas cards. I know it's early, but we've already begun to get some. Thank you. And thanks for all your support. And we'll continue to keep reporting from this corner of the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a short podcast this week, but,
Clearly.
Look, we're recording and it's 11:15. You've had like 4 drinks.
I know, that's been good.
I'm trying to keep you on track.
No, I'm recovering now. I'm getting better.
Oh my God.
I've had this Red Bull thing. I think Red Bull distilled is more potent than Red Bull not distilled. What do you think about that theory?
I didn't even think about the impact
Go
of
back.
the Red Bull.
Now it has no water in it. It's just full on taurine and caffeine, but also taurine. Did you think about that? I have the strength of the bull now.
Oh my God, I didn't.
The bull strength.
Yeah.
Fighting my dad. Gonna go call him right now.
You
I'll
could.
Zoom him.
It's 5 in the morning there.
I'll call him on WhatsApp. It'll be fine.
Oh my God.
I'll be fine. Dad, I need to have some talks.
Oh my God.
We need to have some discussions.
That'll not go well.
Dad. Dad.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. And until...
Go ahead.
Did you just huff at me?
I was just getting into the bit. It's fine. You're not my dad. Everything's good. Everything's good.
Until next time, Slava Ukraini, and don't bet anyone unless they ask you to.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.